Hello, friends. This is Nicholas, and welcome to another episode of DIVO TED Talks, Devoted Talks, however you want to say it. I am Nicholas with DIVO Wellness, DIVO. Do you know what DIVO stands for? So, DIVO stands for Detoxification, Integration, Vitalization, and Optimization. What is detoxification? Detoxification is removing all the things that no longer serve you, that may have served you at one time, or things that just don't belong there, toxins, mind, body, or spiritual toxins. Integration is the taking in of things that will be fruitful or helpful or productive in your life, whether it is ancient wisdom, which I love, whether it is new ways of framing and thinking about things so that you can then move into the vitalization process by taking that new integrated information and giving it more life, giving it more place in your day-to-day, giving it more place in your experience and the way you transmit it to others. And then we have optimization, which is the polishing, the repetition that helps us get better and better at it until we are in mastery. The goal isn't mastery. The goal is to meet yourself in the process of doing these things that help you live well for yourself. And in living well for yourself, you live well for others, whether that's in service or whether that is just being in a good mood, feeling well, that you greet other people kindly or participate with other people kindly. So, why did I go through that? Because I love my brand. I love what it stands for. I love how it has evolved. It used to be developing intrinsic volition outwardly. That was a very one-dimensional way of thinking, but I remember the power it gave me when I identified what the acronym DIVO stands for. Most people say Devo like a male diva, which, yeah, I guess so. You know, a Devo or a Deva or a diva would be a god or a goddess, right? So bringing a godly energy or air to your experiences here in the world. We believe in movement as medicine, and we believe that movement is the way to healing, whether it's moving your mind, moving your body, or moving your spirit, or all three. That is where healing begins, right? Because we get so stuck and we get so concentrated. And that's part of the detoxification process. Getting rid of, squeezing out, removing things that aren't going to serve us in the long run so that we have more room to integrate new things. So the detoxification creates space. Integration brings new, helpful, fruitful things into that space. Vitalization is tending to it like you would a plant or your garden. And then optimization is really taking it to that next step through repetition or through, continually practicing, whatever that means, right? We get so stuck on definitions and connotations, and in the long run, it's about the essence of evolution, whatever that means for you, right? What does it mean to be evolved? We evolved from a child into an adult, but where do we go from being an adult, right? That's up to you. And it has a lot to do with authenticity, which we just spoke about in another episode. And so with that, my friends, just want you to get thinking about how you can take these principles of D, I, V, and O and apply it to your life, right? What would it mean to detoxify or detoxification? Yeah, you could go to a sweat lodge. Yeah, you could take hot yoga, which we offer here, by the way. Yes, you could take cleansing herbs that have tons of antioxidants that help you remove free radicals or other toxins within your body. Yes, you could drink a crap ton of water and flush your system. All of these are great. All of it is about making room. But what about the mental space, right? Mind, body, spirit. So we just talked about all the ways you can detoxify the body. But what about detoxifying the mind? What does that look like? Are there people, places, and things that toxify the way you look at things, that toxify the way you feel, that toxify your perceptions and your experience, right? And how do you remove them? Do you avoid them? Like, if you choose to not be somewhere, what do you think about afterwards? Are you thinking about how you should have been there or what you should have done? Right? That's a toxic trait. Right? That's another way of labeling it, right? What are toxic traits that we have that we could detox from us, either by practicing or by abstinence, right? Certain people pull out certain aspects of us. Some people give us certain aspects, right? Maybe we stop watching trashy TV, whatever that is for you, right? Maybe we stop watching shows that garner a lot of violence, that make us uptight and scared or, on edge. And then what about the spirit? What toxifies our spirit? There's some people that would say anything that's not of the word, no matter what religion you are or are not, right? Religions have the word that they pull their scriptures from, that they pull their doctrine from. And some would say that you need the word to help detoxify. But that's not necessarily true for everybody, because if that were true, then there would be one religion, but there isn't. And so spiritually, how are you getting right so that you are not judging others, that you're not hating on other people, that you are not malignant in the way you interact and talk and conceive and live your life, right? And it's hard to talk about it, right? Like, is there a direct link or line? Well, there is a direct link, but is there a direct line or delineation between mind, body, and spirit? No, I don't think so. It's much like the logo over here, right? It kind of flows into each other, and when one is out of whack, the others fall out of line as well. And so being able to understand these different ways we toxify and how they all interplay. And so maybe it starts with eating poorly, and then we start thinking poorly, and then we start living poorly. And so mind, then body, then spirit goes. Or excuse me, body, then mind, then spirit. Maybe we hang around people we don't like, which then stresses us out, which then causes us to eat. So then we have mind, body, and then spiritual. The spirit then falls after that, because then we don't love those people, or we don't like those people, or we don't like people that they know or the way they do things, or other people who are like them. Like this, right? There's so many ways you can talk about it, think about it, be about it. I'm just going to DIVO about it. So what is the takeaway from this? You have to make room for new things in your life. You have to then plant new things in your life. You have to then tend to new things in your life. And then you have to polish those things that you've been caring for, whether it is more nourishment, more whatever makes it grow or develop or bear fruit in your life. That is what it means, and that is what it's for. This is Nicholas, DIVO TED Talks. Check in with us next time. See you soon.